Welcome to from Selhurst to Old Trafford with your friends and colleagues in sport, Chris Linney Lockhart and Lachlan Taylor Nugent. Smooth, my main man. Been a massive week. What do you want to start with? Obviously, welcome to everyone. Big win in C grade today, a bit of village cricket, so we got it done. But
treacherous weather.
Treacherous weather. As some would say, I got a Jaffa, the old bouncer that tried to hit the gap corner. But again, an Ashes is something we won't talk about because obviously our English following won't be overly friendly towards us. But alas, the football continues and the topsy-turvy season that we have seen continues, especially for some big clubs. So continuing on, Lockie's got some stats for us. We're going to chat about United, a little bit about Palace, and probably a few of the real controversies that we feel like haven't been talked about by anyone. So,
absolutely.
Where do you want to start, Lachlan?
Look, let's go straight into match week this week.
Yep.
So we've got some big games this week that might even, start to shape the ladder moving forward. There's a couple big results that need to happen for a few big teams. We're going to talk about them. There's a couple of teams that have spent, $500 million in the transfer period.
And just to be, if I was one of them supporters, I'd be doing this at the moment, just quietly sitting in the corner.
Surely he's in a bit of trouble. We might leave that.
Yep. As that bottle is doing, it's bubbling over for him. So
match week 13. Obviously, the ladder's starting to shape up. It's starting to get quite congested through the middle there. Teams are, some teams are dropping points.
Yeah.
Some teams are very up and down. And I think if you can sort of play consistently at the moment, you're in a lot better shape than the teams that are.
From the top of the table through to even relegation, it's been a very interesting year because it's not overly conducive of previous years where it's been very clear early who's going up, who's going down, who's going to play European football. Whereas this year, what is there up to? Well, even down to the 15th side, who Fulham are only 6 points from Palace in 5th, which is outrageous.
It's exciting.
It's really exciting. And it's a even contest. And as we've seen through the year, it doesn't matter who you are, you can lose on your day.
Yeah, I think we're pretty confident that at least we know one team that's going to go down.
Yeah.
Wolves at the moment, they're so far off.
To be fair, they lost a couple of their best players in the last couple of years. And I think they're at that point now where they either have to go down or they've got to spend in January.
Yeah. What do they do? Obviously, in January, do they sell? Do they get their money for their midfielder to you blokes potentially? Do they try to cash in now, or do they hold off with a slight bit of hope that they could potentially maybe stay up?
This is probably big, but Wolves are probably a team at the moment. They're in such a dire little area. They've got 2 points from 12 games.
Yeah.
They don't look like winning. I think they're in an area where they could go down to. They could end up in the League One.
Oh, you think
consecutive years?
Double relegation.
Well, you look at the quality of Sutherland. You look at the quality of even Leeds and was it Burnley? So you look at the three of those. 2 are in the relegation battle. Yeah, that's fair. Sutherland is 7th.
Yeah.
But they've been better.
Yeah, the big concerns with West Ham, Forest, and potentially Fulham.
Yes.
We know Newcastle will bounce back potentially, but the problem is that the teams have built on last year and they're playing a lot better. So the competition's a lot tighter, which indicates the ladder positions at the moment.
Well, it also indicates just the league. Everyone's willing to spend at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would say spend wisely. People have been a bit more miserly with their spending in the way that you can get a $30 million player, and if you get him in the right squad, he can play like an $80 million player. And I think that shows, like, Eze, unbelievable hat-trick, which you don't want to talk about, but I think that's the quality he has, but that's probably the first real game we've seen the quality produced week in, week out at Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting thing that you look at someone of his quality that you go, wow, that's a really good game. But at Palace, everyone goes, wow, how good was Eze again?
Yeah.
It's not, wow, that was once off.
What's the model? Is it Chelsea, everyone under 23, 24, or is it Arsenal? You get two world-class in each position and sort of, when they do start to get injuries like they have with Gabriel, that they've got the backup.
Or is it Liverpool?
Or is it? It's definitely not Liverpool.
Wow, the old United.
Let's go through with this week's game. So we've got Brentford and Burnley.
I think that's a big game. I think Burnley will be too good.
Burnley second last. Brentford are currently sitting. Where are they?
Brentford have played well, and was it Thiago?
Yep.
He's just third on the goal scoring.
Second
is he now? After the pen. Missed a penalty as well, which could have won them the game, and then drawn them the game, I think, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Burnley have been a lot better than where they are. I don't be surprised. I think it'll be 2-1.
They've lost the last three.
Yeah, I reckon they'll win 2-1.
City versus Leeds.
Oh, City have to win. What do you think?
Yeah, look.
They're a Giants that is just, like we talked about, they are going under the radar. Even Chelsea, they're getting wins. They're losing some, but they're getting wins. I think Arsenal have had a really good start, but being Arsenal, I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, you're renowned for second when you're really good. And until I see you do otherwise...
Proof's in the pudding, as they say.
And it has been, continually.
Yeah.
So you can't write City off. Yeah.
City Leeds.
I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah.
Haaland too.
I was going to say, Sunderland, Bournemouth.
That is a very good game. Bournemouth have been really good.
Sunderland 7th, Bournemouth 8th.
And off the last few results, being a home game for Sutherland, I think Sutherland should win. They should win. Maybe Bournemouth have been scoring, so I'm going to say
Bournemouth gone draw, loss. So Bournemouth starting to probably teeter off a little bit. Gone loss, draw.
And also Semenyo injured. And fantasy fans, obviously, that's something that probably hurts us all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Sutherland at home have been very good. So I think they'll win there.
I've gone the draw.
Yeah, okay.
Two competitive teams.
So what at?
We'll give you 360 on whatever you want. Net 88.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors.
One of our great sponsors. We're still waiting for them to start their website.
Everton versus Newcastle at Everton. Obviously, they're in good form at the moment. Beating you blokes.
Yeah, we want to talk about that. Everton have been good, but Newcastle created a lot of opportunities in the last game and probably should have been up 3-0 at one stage against City. I think Newcastle win.
A little bit of form as well.
Their striker looks good. They are underperforming profoundly.
Yeah.
I think they should get the job done and comfortably. Everton, yes, they've got a winning. We'll talk about it later. But, yeah.
Tottenham versus Fulham. Tottenham just has to win this, don't they?
They do, but they keep Tottenham going from contender to pretender, don't they? Like, you think, oh, wow, how good are they? And then next week you go, that's terrible.
Your boy, Richarlison.
Yeah. Oh. Again, we call them meatheads in the nightclub. Lovely.
He's hot, he's cold.
Such a talent. And I've been over this. Such a talent that doesn't seem to perform when they need him to. And perfect, probably example was against Darcy. He had clear open goals.
Last week from half.
Yeah, but
he scored during the week as well.
He does that. He looks like a champion some weeks, and in other weeks he looks like he doesn't want to be there.
What's his score going to be?
As much as I am softly towards Fulham because of Swartzer.
I think Tottenham's home form hasn't been the
Yeah,
best. They've been better away.
It hasn't, but I
They've
think
just
they get it. They've got to win. I think
Yeah.
they get it done comfortably. I think 2-0.
Yeah, we'll leave our game. We'll talk about that
we'll
later.
talk about that later.
Villa Wolves.
Villa.
Villa's in a bit of form at the moment.
They're going well.
Yeah.
3-0.
Emery's, they started really slowly. He's turned them around.
3-0.
Morgan Rogers, you reckon he'll get on the board?
From a free kick, yeah. I think pretty special, but no, I think 3-0.
Do you think the goalkeeper moves or saves that? Or no?
No, I don't think many goalkeepers save that.
Forest, Brighton.
Yeah, so I think this is probably going to be out there, but I think it's going to be match of the round.
Ooh.
Forest.
I reckon the next one will be match of the round.
No, Forest have been quite. They're in form.
Doing the try.
Yeah, but you watch how they've won and what they've done.
Sorry, new coach.
And they've gone back with Dyke. They've gone back to what they have done well to get to where they did.
Yep.
They haven't had Wood, but Gibbs White and alike have been going very, very well. Things are just starting to click. They're showing the attributes of the side. Shut up. Sorry, language. They're showing the attributes of the side that they were and have been for probably the last couple of years. Really hard to break down, but on the counter are quite good and score from set piece. So I think.
You think it'll be a bit of an upset?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be goals. Brighton are a damn good side as well. I think it'll be a 3-2, 2-3 sort of scoreline. I think they'll both score. Forest, yes, they haven't been renowned for scoring, but the last few rounds under a new manager, they have been scoring again. So things are clicking.
I think people don't take for granted how hard it's been for them. They've obviously had 2-3 managers this year, and obviously the way that Marinakis portrays himself or conducts himself, the way that he controls what happens and how things happen there.
I think they made some mistakes in what they were trying to do. I think they put a lot of their stock in winning a trophy.
Yeah.
And whilst
they were flying last year. They were flying.
But you talk about, this would be great. Let's just try and get a manager that knows how to win without regard for what he'll bring to our squad. And I think, our great man Ange, we probably heard it first.
He said he was going to win the Prem.
Yeah, as a manager of Tottenham, potentially. But I genuinely believe Ange is an attacking-minded manager. And as we talked about earlier, and obviously they haven't been out yet, but Ange never suited a defensive counter-attacking side. That was never going to work. So
we still love you, Uncle Ange. I reckon we can get him on with us.
Yeah, and he'll probably tell us that we have no idea about football and we're not purists at all. We're just flakes. But
and then we say, what do you know, Ange? You just got sacked.
A lot of people like cornflakes.
Match of the round.
I think it's going to be
surely West Ham versus Liverpool.
No, see, I think West Ham win comfortably.
I'm with you. I think what's happening at Liverpool at the moment is, I think they've got more issues than what we actually know.
Well, and I hate to say it, but what did I say at the start of the season?
Catches win matches.
Yeah, and I also said Liverpool are turning into United.
You said Edge was going to win the league.
Yeah, I also said Saar was going to be the Golden Glove. That ain't happening. But like all us pundits, we have big things. And my main thought on Liverpool is, as I said to you, about they wanted to be relevant for a long time, and they went big on bringing in players. They didn't go the Guardiola, we're bringing in one or two at a time. They went, these 4 or 5 players, they want out or they need to be replaced, moved them on and brought in $500 million worth, thinking they're going to buy another flag. You've just had a manager change, and they're changing a heap of personnel. It's a recipe for disaster, and I think it's playing out the way, if you have a brain, apologies for people that mightn't agree with me, but sitting back, as soon as you make massive changes to a successful organisation, you're going to have issues. And I believe we're seeing those cracks, and we've been seeing those cracks for a while. They got through last year with a side that was built by another manager, and you can argue with that. You can do whatever you want, but I genuinely believe that was built by another manager. He jumped on the glory train and went, okay, this is my blueprint. Okay, fine. But Liverpool fans, you're going to be in for pain because Isaac.
That was going to be my next question. I don't think they brought in and DK. He started really well.
Yep.
We all know how Isaac, how he went about getting his move as well.
Yep.
That was well documented. And I think, him obviously not having the preseason, he's come in, he's got injured.
And the expectation of
Mo Salah's not living up to what he did last year. Yep. Obviously, his contract negotiations.
What's he, 30?
He's too old, mate.
He's not too old. I think he's
so they could
class.
have cashed in. So him and Van Dijk, Conte. He's not playing the best as well.
Yeah.
So,
but as I said to you,
Canate.
You bring in players like they have.
Kirkes is only
that all players, big players at other clubs. They come to a big club. They want to be big players. You got too many big personalities. You got too many people that want to be scoring. And I think there's a clip, and a lot of people would have seen this clip.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where Salah cuts inside, and previously there would be not another Liverpool player there. And I believe there's a striker standing there doing what strikers do, which is fine. But that's not how Liverpool have won. Liverpool have won with their wingers, and they've had a false nine.
So let's throw this scenario out there. West Ham beat Liverpool. So Liverpool's lost their last 2 games by 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to West Ham, draw to West Ham, lose to West Ham. What do you think Slot's thinking? Oh, what do you think? What do you think the club's thinking?
Well, I think the club is. Well, surely you have information in front of you that goes, "This is what happens if we make this move," and I genuinely cannot believe that this hasn't been talked about. We're half a world away, and we don't hear whispers. If United lose after having a manager, he's all over the world.
Heads roll.
Liverpool want to be in that bracket. They are not. And that is a fact. We do not hear anything about Liverpool after they've lost. The most they've probably lost in a long time.
7 out of 8 or 9 out of 11.
In a row, not looking like winning, not looking like Liverpool that has been clinical, dangerous, class, just all these things that other people and other clubs have been envious of. Liverpool are playing like a 10th or 11th side at best at the moment. They get their wins, but at times they look terrible.
The cracks were there early. So when they were getting their wins, they were obviously late. Mm-hmm. So that's telling us something that they can't get it done.
Yeah, but I think that was a lot of us sitting back and going, okay, here's a Liverpool of old. They're getting stuff done no matter what.
Yeah.
But now Isaac is so far. If he keeps going the way he's going to be the flop in history, the biggest flop.
You can't spend
what you have on him. You can't as well. But Words didn't make a point of trying to get to Liverpool. Isaac has come across with being like one of the leading strikers, one of the poachers of like world football.
Yeah.
And he's come across after chucking a tanty at the club that's given him a chance and built him into the player he is to get out, even though they didn't want to sell, chasing what we believe he would have thought is, oh, here we go, here's a trophy I can lift.
Yeah. Yep.
To now go, where and how does he fit into a system that's not working?
Well, he's coming off the bench.
But he doesn't even look like it.
Yeah.
He's looking like half the player. Yes, we understand you're learning new systems, new coaches, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear it all. But at the end of the day, demanding that money, in the age you are, It is. And also, you, as we've just touched on, we acknowledge that he was one of the best strikers in the world. That doesn't get thrown around often.
Mhm.
Not saying you're the best ever. You were one of the best strikers at the time in the world, in the best league.
Yeah.
And now you've changed clubs within league and you're off the bench. That says everything.
Mhm.
I would be embarrassed, and he's probably going through a whole world of problems, and we don't want people to go through those issues
Mhm.
and have them weighing down on you. We understand that, but at the same time, when you demand money in any role, any job, doesn't matter what it is, if he wasn't a contracted person, I think he'd be out. If he was a manager and the best manager in the world and wasn't performing, he'd be out the door.
Yeah.
And we've seen that multiple times.
What's your thoughts on Liverpool this far? So
I think early we said the clinical. At times it looked powerful, and then I remember us talking about Isaac and going, it'd be a mistake. And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I think what they've spent is a mistake. I think the business they've done previously has been brilliant,
Yeah.
and we all go, how shrewd, how genius, where have they found these people?
Yeah.
And where have they found this value?
Do you think it's a combination of, obviously you pay that big money, there's an expectation on them. Do you think they've sort of checked out?
No, I don't think it's checked out. As I've said to you previously, and I laud United for doing it. Like Sesko, I like his attributes, I like what he brings. We pay the United tax. Liverpool have paid an obscene amount of money for 5 players.
Yep, if not more.
They have not looked like the side that they have paid for.
So who do we pin this on? Is it on Slot or is it on the players? Or is it bigger than Slot and the players?
I think you have to look at the manager, because the manager, at the end of the day, I would hope, and people can tell me if I'm wrong, and I hope you do, but managers, if they make the final decision at the end of the day, and I've been over this and over this and over this, managers make decisions that affect football clubs, not just for the year, for multiple years to come.
Yep.
And we are lucky where we are in the local football system, AFL, that there is a recruiting team and a list management team, and that is their pure role. Yes, the coaches sign off on it, but there is a team looking after that. You would think Premier League have that, but at the same time, how have they targeted these players? How have they gone, this is a player? I often think they listen to media and look at stats and go, wow, this bloke played well against a good team. And you go,
big emphasis on stats as well these days.
There is in possession and all that, which we'll talk about in the United Everton game, but
so let's
well, breaking it down, what do you think?
Let's turn your hat around and let's say you're no longer Manchester United, you're Liverpool. What would you do? So Salah's underperforming. Isak, we know where he's at with his injury concerns. Kanate is really struggling.
I think I sit down and go, well,
Kirk has as well. He's really struggling. So, and they're obviously, 4 of you.
As I've said, and it's probably similar to City. If their press and their players aren't working together, if you get out the back of those sides, they look weak. They look that you look, and I said,
mate, we know it.
Yeah.
Ismail Sarr.
Yeah. But I think no matter what, if I was a Liverpool supporter right now, I would be gutted and almost disturbed, because yes, Klopp will go down as probably one of the greatest Liverpool managers.
It's always a hard task following them big managers.
Yes, 100%. But where to from here? And surely you'll learn from big cousins and big family members, because the big 6, there's only 6 of them.
Yeah. Surely
you look and go, what has worked, what hasn't? And I sit back and go, I don't think they've learned, because the first thing they did was, we've got a new manager, we've won it. Yeah, congratulations. Same as Fergie in his last year, he bought a couple of players and won it, but that was good business. to win it those years. It wasn't to future-proof those sides. I look at it and I go, well, he's inherited a side that was elite, got him on the same page, didn't do anything, it was all done. And then the first transfer window, you brought in 5 players worth 500 million. And
is this?
I hope they make money off shirts because they're going to make some money somehow.
Yeah. So obviously players come into the Premier League. Obviously Wirtz, he's not going to get that time. Similar to Sesko. So people want results straight away. If you're paying that sort of money, are we looking too short-sightedness?
No.
As in...
Yeah, 100%. But how old's Wirtz?
I think he's 22.
You bring a 22-year-old in on that money. It's not like you're 18. Yes, he's still young. But what's that mean? He's got 4 years of pretty good football, probably 2 years definitely at the higher level.
And they've been shuffling his role around as well. So obviously they've pushed him to the left side.
Which means they're not happy with where he's playing in those roles and what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it's like you use sides. You spend money on people that are going to be the next Messi, the next Ronaldo. Doesn't mean they're going to be that.
Do you want to know what I think?
Yeah,
I think they're too afraid to make them big calls on them players.
Yeah.
So obviously Salah's underperforming at the moment. I think there comes a time when every player goes a little bit past it.
Yeah.
Obviously he overperformed last year. He was the main man. So everything was going through him. I've given him the space.
And I think that's exactly what you've hit nail on the head. This is probably the first time they've had 2 main strikers that aren't just, no offense to Firmino or anything, but pretend strikers. People that they score. Yeah. They're not the prolific scorers of Salah, Sane.
Yeah. And what you talked about was Salah cutting inside. And that clip of Antique trying to take the ball off him, and they're both throwing their hands in the air. So you start to think that, is there more going on than what we initially think?
Well, anytime there's expectation, there's pressure. There's intrigue, there's media, there's family, there's everyone going, what's going on?
What are you giving?
Yeah, well, when you've been so successful, when people start breaking down and things start not working, players are the first ones that get the unseen pressures,
and you can tell they're not connecting. There's no flow.
Yeah, and again, this is us saying this is players of a relatively serious league. People don't see it on the outside, but on the inside, when the pressure's on, when you're a connected club, things just go away. You don't see the pressure. You don't hear about them. But when things are starting to struggle, pressure's on, people are starting to feel the pressure, especially higher up. At a player's level, those things slip into players' meetings about, instead of going, okay, this is where we need to be better, it's we were crap here and this is why we were crap. It's the built up pointing, it's the built up pressures that others get, that get brought down and doubled down until at the lowest level, which the players, yes, they're probably the highest paid of all the levels. But they are the lowest level when it comes to what happens in the organisation. 1 week they could be playing for Liverpool, the next week they could be playing for United. Like they do have a say, but it's not much.
And there's an old saying that the champion team will beat a team of champions.
100%.
So obviously in them big teams, you got egos. You're obviously bringing in people as well, so they're pushing people out of their 100%. Spots that they've been in there for 2 or 3 years. So it's a different dynamic for the group. So look, I think that's one that we can probably watch over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and again, viewers, if anyone's got anything to say, I think you're welcome to. But
Liverpool fans, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah,
how you're feeling at the moment.
Neil Talbot, mad Liverpool fan, left-arm bowler. Max Diffie. Just give us a bit of something, because I think we struggle to understand how there's been so much patience. Yes, you won it, but the drop is severe, and with what you spent, I would have been expecting at least. Well, what are our top sides? I would have expected to.
What did we say?
19 points at least. There were 18 points and loss, win, loss.
You won the league comprehensively and then spent 400 million. I think there was an expectation that they would win it again.
Yep, 100%.
So moving on to the next game,
Yep.
West Ham, Liverpool. What did you reckon?
Oh, West Ham comfortably.
I reckon a draw.
No, I think.
And probably the biggest match this weekend, apart from our game, obviously, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Can Chelsea pinch it?
Yep, I think this sounds bad. I don't wish anyone ill.
Cole Palmer back?
Yeah, and I don't wish anyone well, but I think Garnacho does his ACL and Chelsea win.
I've gone the draw.
But
I just need someone to draw with Arsenal.
Yeah, but I think they lose.
They're clinical. They are.
Chelsea at home have a great chance to close the gap.
Yeah.
Gabriel injured.
Mm-hmm.
I think with their set pieces, again, two good sides, Arsenal rely on set piece.
Midweek they smoked.
Of course they did. They smoked them, but again, like we talked about in our previous conversation, the difference in a Premier League game compared to a European football, I think it's a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chelsea, as we've talked about, have a ridiculous number of very good players, especially midfielders, and I think they'll boss the midfield.
Yeah.
As much as I love Declan.
Chelsea will boss the midfield.
Yep.
Yeah. Their midfield's
Their midfield's ridiculous, and I think they'll be in control of the game, which Arsenal will not like, because Arsenal, yes, they have good midfield, but Chelsea is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think they'll win 1-0.
Anything surprise you with the ladder at the moment? Obviously, something that we talked about a little bit earlier was the teams that come up.
Mm-hmm.
Sunderland are starting to drop a couple points now. So they've gone draw, loss.
Mm-hmm.
They went on a pretty crazy sort of run early on. Is that something that you expect to keep happening, or
no?
What do you think?
They're a good side, but as we talked about, and I think we said it in earlier episodes, those bottom sides, there always seems to be a front runner in the first 10 to 20 rounds. They come out hard, but they rely so much on that first side. They don't have much behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They spend a bit on that. I think.
Will they stay up?
Yes, Sutherland should.
Yeah. Obviously, the congestion for 17th, 18th, 19th, 16th, 15th. How do you expect that to move going forward? Obviously, it's very tight at the moment.
I think, like most people that can see the table, a lot of the stuff I think is going to be sorted out in the next. What are we? We're only 12 played, so we're really, what are we?
Yeah, this week.
Quarter?
Nearly 1/3.
A third of the way through, and it's all very even, but I think from about 10th to 20th, I think there'll be starting to be a few contenders that are going to be in the bottom half of the table, and I think it's going to get sorted out in the next bit.
Yeah.
Most sides are starting to play football. AFCON's going to bring a few sides down.
Yep. Someone's got 7 from their starting.
Which,
that's crazy.
It is crazy, but again, 5. Can you tell me Wolverhampton are going to win 5?
I think, honestly, with their appointment of, what's his name? Rob Edwards, I think there's an expectation that they know they're going to go down.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to see is, in January, do they sell their stars? So they've got Strand Larson, they've got Gomez.
I think they have to.
Do they try to cash out on them?
I think they have to, because surely players of that quality are not going to want to play championship.
Yeah, and that's what I want to see, whether you're going for another midfielder or it'll be interesting to see what happens because what happens if they
If
win
we
the
get
next,
another midfielder, we'll lose Manu.
what happens if they win the next two?
Well, next two, they're great, but they're still. What are they? They're still 3 or 4 points out of.
I think they go down. I think they get the
I
lowest.
don't think it's a question. Yeah,
I think they go down. I think obviously they sold their best couple of players. They didn't bring anyone in.
Yeah.
I think the expectations for them, they sort of know what they're getting themselves.
I think if you get that sort of money, you're sort of expecting. Okay, we've probably made more than we would.
Well, it sets them up financially for the next year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, moving on. Do you want to go?
Do you want to talk about our game?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about our game.
So,
or do you want me to talk about previous games?
No. I think we talk about our game and then we go to previous weeks, which leads us into the form because obviously you guys, tried your hardest in Germany.
Germany
9.
I've got some stats.
Okay, go for it.
So obviously this is a preview for the Man United match.
Which again, we will be in the Brother League.
The what?
The Brother League.
What's a Brother League?
No, the Brother League. The second league of this great battle in Manchester United on the 28th of February.
Sorry.
We will be there. So if you want to be there with us, we will add a code below and you can enter the competition to sit between us and our lovely partners discussing the game and learning.
And Garth, sorry.
No. Garth is the next manager. And, being a part of the knowledge sharing from our country to yours about Man United versus Crystal Palace. But going on.
If you want to have us for the night before as well, we could probably get on the beers, sing a few songs. We wouldn't be able to sing many songs, but yeah. So obviously, the preview for the Man United versus Crystal Palace match, I reckon our lineup will go back to our strongest, obviously from what we had during the week.
Gay play?
Gay will definitely play. So he was pulled off at 45. So I reckon Kamada, Wharton back into our midfield. Richards will go back into our back line. And I think, obviously, what's happened during the week, I think there's a real resilience in our group.
You lost
after the loss that we should have won, but
comfortably.
And I think the players will want to rectify that. Obviously, Glasgow talked post match about how disappointed he was in the team, and I think he doesn't often do that, but I think the players want to play for him. So I think what's going to happen this weekend is we sort of come out firing.
Yeah.
So our last 5 results, we've won 3, we've drawn 1 and lost 1. So Manchester United haven't beaten us, the Crystal Palace, since April 2nd, 2023, with Palace keeping 4 clean sheets out of the 5 games. So I'm expecting I'm expecting our quality to shine through.
Excuse me, fans. I'm about to jump on the old fixtures because I've got some shocking stats for them.
This could be well and truly a dress rehearsal for Wharton. So
yeah, I don't think we want him.
You don't want him?
No.
And the quality that he possesses. I think our midfield will be too strong for your midfield. Yep. Obviously, Casemiro and Bruno. We know Bruno doesn't track back. We know Casemiro doesn't run all day. So, and if we can keep Mbeumo in check with Mitchell, I think, I'm not sure who's going to score your goals.
Yep.
So, and we all know United's defensive struggles. So hopefully Sarr can get in behind and the defence will get the game to go to bed early. Yep. I expect us to win 2-0.
Righto. So on that, obviously, just looking at our results, we have knocked off Chelsea. We have knocked off Sunderland, one of the great sides. We've knocked off Liverpool, knocked off Brighton. From there,
do you want to
Palace are an easy beat.
5th.
I think we tend to actually play better, and you can challenge me on that. We play our best football against the top 8 sides. I think I've seen it before. We set up well against the best sides. So I think Palace, whilst I'm disgusted to compare them to the Big Six, they are challenging at the moment for the top part of the table. And I think we have a track record of playing well against sides that are doing well. We tend to struggle, e.g. Grimsby, to sides that are doing poorly or are expected to do poorly.
I think it's a low block that you struggle against.
Yeah, but I think Sesko should be back. Cunha will be back.
No, Cunha's ruled out.
Ruled out?
Yep.
You heard it here first. Sesko should play.
I'm not going to check that.
But
Sesko doesn't play. Does Xerxes start up front?
God. We'll talk about that in the Everton debacle. But I think that's our first loss in, I think, 4 or 5.
For you guys?
Yep. So we've been going well. We
5. 2 draws.
Have played well. Lemons is good in goal. I think things are slowly moving forward. And again, I'll talk through the stats of the previous game, but I'll explain why. I think the work rate's there, the effort for the shirt you're wearing, which is something that a lot of people won't talk about, but the fact of wanting to work through fatigue, to wanting to work and attack and run to space and for your teammates and all these, it's little things that people don't see, but the numbers don't lie when it comes to those things. I think they're there, and that's why we've started to do well. I think Cunha hurts. I think without him that hurts, but it means hopefully Fernandez moves up. Because which will be either Mainu or Gate. If he wants to be more cautious, which I believe he may be, Fernandez stays where he is, and Mount may play up, which I'm not overly a fan of. But obviously Palace doing well. I think he'll throw something different, which he did again. He's been doing against big sides.
Battle of the 3-4-3.
Yeah.
So
hopefully Maguire's back because Euro looks, and his set piece stuff has been ridiculous. He's probably showing a bit of the form that he showed at Leicester. That we bought him for 80 million. The big bully that he should be. He does score. He's frustrating at times, and there was that meme, Harry Maguire, but he is a talented player.
Do you think anyone comes into the squad?
Hopefully Obi.
So Obi wasn't even on the bench for last game.
Yes. I think we need to give some of those kids a chance because
problem is you only got one match a week.
Yeah, it is a problem, but I think as we'll talk about the previous game, I'll talk about what went wrong.
So Shaw struggled against Everton. Do you reckon he'll
start? I think he should start. Yep. He's an experienced character. I don't think he plays badly against the side twice.
Yep. So you're thinking relatively unchanged, maybe Mount coming for Cunha?
Yeah, and then potentially
Xerxes start up front, or
I think they've got to keep it unless Sesko's available. Then Xerxes goes out, and then potentially Euro for Maguire because Maguire at the back helps.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on to previous matches. Obviously, we haven't done the reviews from our previous matches.
Yep.
So I'll start with the Wolves.
Yep.
I'll start with our under-18s versus Chelsea.
18s. We love the 18s.
The 18s are actually playing at the moment.
I think it's 3-0 against Chelsea.
No, we won 4-0. But under 18s versus Chelsea, great performance from the young Eagles, booking their spot in the Premier League Cup. Sorry, I'll give you an update. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. They can just admire these bad boys.
1-1.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
1-1.
United Flex, that's what we call it. If you look at the camera lock,
One
this
all
has been
versus-
going for about a minute.
One all versus Southampton. That's live scores as well.
In the 18s?
In the 18s versus Southampton. So that's a 1v3 match at the moment. So our under 18s against Chelsea, great performance from the Young Eagles, booking a spot in the Premier League Cup knockout stages. Ang Beno scored the opener. Sorry if I got that wrong. So he's actually playing really well at the moment. Benji Casey's gone up from the 18s to the 21s. He scored during the week, won a penalty as well. 17-year-old playing in the 21s. So he scored in the 23rd minute from a straight pass. 43rd minute, Bernard Ferguson doubles our lead. Wonderful steered finish that looped over the keeper.
How do you steer it over the keeper?
Just lobbed it.
Why didn't you say lobbed? Steered, I think, in the corner or something.
Yeah. So 46th minute, Stuart Otteru drilled it into the far corner. He's my boy. 89th minute, Dante Martin come off the bench. 4-0 against Chelsea. So that result means Palace finished the top of the Group D, level on 7 points with Manchester City, but ahead on goal difference, 6-4. As a result, they progressed through to the knockout stages. Further details to be announced in regards to that cup run.
Exciting.
Under 21s review against Nordsjælland. So the under 21 sealed a 3-2 win over group leaders FC Nordsjælland in the Premier League International Cup on Wednesday, the 26th of November, in Reveiws Community Stadium. Darren Powell made 2 changes from the 3-1 win against Juventus. Both wing back. Dean Benama replaced Joe Gibbard on the left. Joel Drakes Thomas, our 17-year-old, come back from under 17s duty, coming for Nascimento, and Craig Farquhar. Also returned from long injury return, come in and replace Jake Runte. So on the 43rd minute, Dylan Reid delivered a moment of magic after winning a free kick from outside the area. Reid's initial strike hit the wall and he followed up with a brilliant rebound and scored. Approaching the hour mark, Benji Casey, our 17-year-old, doubled Palace's lead. So King delivered a perfectly lofted pass in behind. So he's a real runner in behind. So he's probably a throwback a few years. So we know strikers now like to come out, get the ball, turn it. So he likes to make runs in behind. So he's really exciting for us. And he stepped in. Yeah, so he's good. So he scored as well, and then he set up our third goal with Dylan Reid, obviously winning the pen from the spot. So Casey won the pen. Dylan Reid finished it to make it a double, and then the Tigers pulled one back in the 83rd minute from Dansgaard, and then in the 92nd minute, Ras Moisen. So he's an under 21 player who also plays in their first team. He fired one through to Isquamento and they scored. So the score was 3-2. We went top of the table, but obviously goal difference pulled us back. So despite the late goals, the Young Eagles held on for 3 clinical points. Palace remained 5th, level on 6 points with Valencia, Fulham, Nordsjælland, and so we're just waiting to hear on what happens with them. And obviously we also have an under 18s review as well for today. So I did one for today's game.
That's exciting. First of firsts.
So I obviously wrote this not knowing how we were going to play, but obviously it's 1v3 on the table, and so we expect it to be a good game. Should be. Javier Alonso has the Young Eagles purring at the moment, and I think, here we go, half time.
Oh, and what's the score?
1-1. So I expect us to continue with our good form. I was hoping that players like Bernard Ferguson, Otteru, Agbernard can continue this strong goal scoring form, and the Young Eagles also have the best home form in the league. So I'm hoping that we can get 3 points tonight. I'm going to go back and watch that
Yeah.
after we finish.
Which we shan't.
Over you.
Righto. As per usual, I have nothing prepared. What
stats.
I do have
is stats.
is stats from the game from the weekend, which we have probably danced around, but losing to a 10-man Everton was probably back to what makes us, like we talked about, an improved side from previous years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll touch on that through the stats, but also the side that we hate at times as a supporter. And I love supporting United, but these are the sort of results that kill you, where they go 10 early through a side attacking itself to...
Which you don't see.
No, you don't see that these days. And
sorry, the person that made the mistake also punched his teammate.
Yes, 100%. His teammate called him out, which in good sides you do. And someone took it personally and may have slapped, if you haven't seen the vision, someone across the face and in front of the ref. Like, it's stuff you don't even see on the FIFA games. Like,
what were you thinking when it first happened?
I was shocked. I actually didn't know what had gone on. I thought it might have been for Xerxes because he got stood on by, might have been into Keane.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of coming together, but then they sort of separated and they were going at each other, and out of the back we had half a chance, and then next minute there's a red card. And I thought, oh no, Xerxes done something.
I thought you beauties might actually get a win.
And, obviously them having 10 men, you would expect to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Before I go through these, I think we touch on the goal. I think, like I've talked about with you, Fernandes is not a player that can play from where he does, so deep in midfield, because of what happened. Mm-hmm. A half challenge, which Casemiro would have brought. Who was the scorer? What was his name? Drewsbury Hall, or whatever it is, would have brought him to ground, and that wouldn't have got any further. Potential yellow card.
Take one for the team,
but he doesn't keep driving. Instead, he does a half-hearted challenge. Euro lets him go on the inside and almost allows him to, instead of just letting him go outside. We don't mind players, but you are a professional footballer. You know the attacking player. You know if they're left or right-footed. You know where their dominant foot is. You know what their dangerous shots are. To allow a player of his quality run straight in, and then Fernandes challenge from the outside, pushing him inside. Euro challenge from the outside, pushing him inside, allowing a player of his quality to be right on the edge of the box, basically with a full view of goal. Lemon's got a hand to it, but really he didn't have much of a chance. I think that's terrible defending. I think if we have a manager of any quality, which I believe we may, and that's what we've been promised, he will review that with the side and go, this is not good enough. And the reason why is because these are basics that we do no matter what the level. These are basics you just do not do defending through the midfield to allow a player run, 20 yards?
Yeah.
And to score that goal. Looking at the other points, possession, massive outweigh, 69% to 30%. But again, total shots, 25-3. I think looking at that is a domination. And I'm not going to tell you which way that is. Shots on target, 1-6. 9 for corners to 1. 6 saves to one side, and I will tell you that Pickford was incredible.
Man.
But again, those shots, and a few of them, again, Fernandez's name comes up. Incredible shot, yes, but it makes the goalkeeper look good when you take them from so far away. Then you go into shots inside the box, 3 to none. 8 shots from outside the box, and I think that's a key stat. I don't think you want to be taking any more than 2 or 3 shots from outside the box. And the key point is, if you're outside the box and you think you've got to have a clear shot, the goalkeeper needs to be down out of his area, or you genuinely go, yeah, I'm going to dominate this.
Yeah.
But if you've had one half a side on the goalkeeper that looks comfortable, you need to be getting it in and really challenging them in the box.
There was talk about Ruben's substitutions. Obviously, they went down 1.
Mm-hmm.
And what you did was, what'd you do? You refused. Shaw wasn't playing the best. You kept him on. You didn't push anyone forward.
And I didn't really change the way we played. But again, I don't think, looking at those stats, I don't think that's a real tally of the game.
You didn't have big
as
chances
we
with
talked about.
Xerxes, multiple headers.
3, and again, incredible save from Pickford.
Yep.
1 straight at Pickford.
Xerxes plays every week.
Xerxes
more minutes. He probably scores that.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Sesko probably scores 2.
Sesko probably scores
3 of them, didn't he?
And I think you go down, and this is probably the main one I look at, which
Shea Lassie was on the bench as well.
But I think you look at this and you go, this is where I go. Was not the player or the effort. It's got to be something else, because he's got them playing. And again, fans aren't going to like this, but I still believe, whilst we've had chances to be in the top 3 or 4, I still believe we're probably about where we deserve to be, because we cannot afford injuries, which means we're down with lower tier as it is. We have the quality there, but those other players, Xerxes especially, again, quality player at another club.
Yeah.
Is he a United striker?
Manu as well. Did they get loaned out during the January period?
Yeah, and there's probably cracks again showing
someone back in.
But what are you going to spend and what are you going to sell? But the main stat I look at, which again, people won't agree with me, but I think when I see energy and effort, I don't care. And the energy and effort was there. Was the quality? That's the question. Because if you've got energy and effort and quality, these things, like your Roy Keane and all that, the old players that have battled and, were pricks to play against. It's a nasty way to say it, but nasty men to play against, just because they were honest battlers. They didn't care what they had to do to win. I look at 112 Ks compared to 104 Ks after dominating possession. That means you're working. So they've done 8 more Ks than the opposition. Yes, they're a player now.
Yeah.
But they've still done the work. You're covering the distance.
The problem is with the game. Obviously, we look at the ladder and what between 19th and 5th place is 3 games. So the game is fine margins.
But even second, Arsenal are probably well and aware that they're right up at the moment. But you have 23 points down to 11 points even. Even 10 points. That's 30 points. That's 3 games.
3 games. So it's fine margins. It's similar to like to Xerxes' headers. What happens if they're 30 centimetres other side of the goalkeeper? He doesn't get there, does he?
Yeah, but again, I think whilst there's those margins, there's also the margins with the goal. I can deal with the draw in the way that has been played and big saves and all that. What I can't deal with, and again, this is probably the next progression for United to keep trying to climb that ladder, is soft goals. But it's soft goals. That's a soft goal. How can you allow, and again, people may be screaming at me, I don't care. How can you allow it's a side that's been drilled and drilled and drilled to the same structure. Someone can run in after, yes, a good pass, good touch, yeah, fine. But surely you're going at a point, I need to give a red. Oh, yeah, sorry, a yellow here.
She says.
You're down to 10 men, you can afford to give a yellow.
Yeah.
You can afford to bring someone down. But if they're driving at your box, it's such danger. How many times have we seen it this year where a midfielder gets to dance through?
Do you think that's a difference between the good teams and potentially a teams that are
100%.
They're willing to
100%.
maybe go that, maybe sacrifice a yellow for themselves to potentially get themselves subbed off
100%.
later in the game?
How many times do you see people against Liverpool when they're really good get brought down?
Yeah.
How many times do you see it? You see it with good sides.
Ollie chopping old mate down when he's running on.
But again, doing the right thing for the team.
Yeah.
You know,
do you think that's an ego thing, or?
I think it's an ego thing. I also think there are some players that just can't do it.
Yeah.
And again, Fernandez is incredible on the ball. That's why he's so dangerous up top.
Yeah.
Deep in midfield, you're going to get goals on his side scored because he works hard,
and that's not.
But he chucks his leg out. He does. He chucks his leg out trying to stop those things. He doesn't just go body to body and just charge in, trying to bring someone to the ground and go, you're not getting past. I know how dangerous that is. Where that's why Casemiro was so good in Italy and everywhere. He's a good player, but yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Teams. Yeah, I think as a supporter base, that people will expect their team to win every week.
Yeah,
but ultimately, teams are allowed to have a bad game. 100%. We've just played against Strasbourg and missed 2 open goals.
Yeah, you got what you deserved. But I think the main thing that annoys me is that goal, whilst it's a good finish, is so village in its defending. It is very, very basic. It's not hard to go. This is a danger. Someone running. If you know that you've got an attacking player running towards your box, yes, you're right against the touch, but at the same time, could he have done more properly?
And the players would see the vision during the week about running patterns, how they move the ball.
Yeah. Where they've scored most of the goals from. If you've got a really good mid in the Premier League, especially a number 10, but if you get a number 10 running a goal at the top of the box, most times they're scoring.
Yeah,
honestly, if they've got a free look at goal, they're scoring.
Mm-hmm. And that's the quality of the players in this league as well. Yeah. So, obviously the game's fine margins and 25 shots, 6 on target. Pickford plays out of his skin.
Yeah, but
doesn't help.
He's a quality player. I think, again, the thing that gets me, and yes, his saves are ridiculous, but you look at his saves, the one that I don't look at the Fernandez one and go, oh, wow. Yes, it's a bloody good save. Yes, it's hot. Jumping across the side, one palm up. But I look at more the Xerxes one side netting just. Mm-hmm. That's a ridiculous save. Mm-hmm. But there weren't too many of those.
Yeah.
A lot of them were like ridiculous, no chance. Like any goalkeeper worth is trying to get across and do what Pickford did. It's just Pickford is the quality that he can do it.
Yeah, he's playing good football as well, and that obviously translates to them obviously playing better.
It helps when you've got plenty of shots coming at you.
Yeah, facts. We're going to move on. Obviously, we've talked about Liverpool. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the January transfer window. What do you think yous need to obviously get yourself potentially into them Europa League spots or UEFA League spots?
Sitting back.
So you're currently You're currently sitting 10th mid-table.
I genuinely believe we need another striker.
Yep. Anyone you've been linked with?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning here. No, it needs to be someone that's happy with second fiddle. Xerxes is not happy, and I don't think that's right.
Xerxes maybe on loan?
I think I've got to sell him. I think Hoyland, bring him back.
We talked about this. He wanted to play for the club, and he's got rid of him.
Haven't got rid of him yet, but
You can't get him back.
he's scoring. He's got his confidence up. That is the time to bring someone in, and he's got competition in Cisco. And if that's not the case, then we need someone that's a moving striker. So Cisco is a great hold-up striker. We need someone that's in behind, quick. Doesn't have to be overly big. I don't mind that if they can get in behind and score, because we've had a lot of opportunities where we've passed through, look brilliant, and then can't finish it.
Yeah.
So someone that's quick, that's a deadly finisher.
Yeah. Midfield.
Yeah, good point. Is Casemiro going to stay? Play his best football? I wouldn't be surprised if there's suitors there.
Labour, Elliot.
Yeah.
I don't. Sorry. Gomez.
I think the way we've spent.
Yeah.
I think the only business we will do is off the back of whatever we sell.
Yeah, I don't think he'll sell. I think Manu will potentially go out on loan, similar to Xerxes as well.
And I think we're probably genuinely, we need a mid, and we probably need to start looking at playing Euro a little bit more.
Sorry, Martinez potentially be back. The butcher.
Sweet. I don't mind that, because we're going to lose Dorgu, Mbumo, and there's one more to Africon. So Africon.
Sorry, Mbumo. Yeah.
So
who comes into Mbumo?
Exactly. No idea. Ahmad
pushed up, and Martinez onto the wing back.
Potentially. I think Martinez can do it, or you got to Shaw, maybe. Mount's done a little bit. Is this where we see maybe a little bit of Leon?
I think they'll talk about him potentially going on loan as well.
Yeah, but it seems so ridiculous. We've bought a player and done loan. But I think attacking power is not looking like the problem.
Yeah.
I think finishing the attack.
Get Cunha back, obviously.
Yeah, Cunha is elite.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. What about you? What do you think?
So we obviously need another striker.
You're going to lose Gay?
So, but don't know. I actually don't know what will happen. Obviously, there's talk of Liverpool potentially giving a fee for Gahey in January. If that's the case, there's talk about Osman Diamonde for Sporting, I think. So he's very highly rated. Our module or potential, or the way that we sort of deal at the moment is buy young, sell them, the potential to sell them on, which is
like a good working person.
Yeah, so Uche at the moment, he's not playing, so there's a potential for us to potentially get a striker. So Mateta at the moment is playing massive minutes. Nketiah has just come back from injury. We'll lose Sarr to AFCON. So
is that all you lose?
Yeah, Sarr. Yeah, we've only got the one. So do we push then Kamara up and then push maybe Lerma into the midfield? What happens there?
And who's playing well in 21s and can fit him straight in the role like that?
Yeah, I don't think, we have a lot of good under 21. Zach Marsh, who could potentially come up. He's captain at the moment. But I just think we want someone with a little bit more class. It was potentially whoever we get.
I think that's the scariest thing is January, if you're in the hunt, then why not spend? And that's why I think Gay and Liverpool won't happen.
Yeah,
because I can't see it unless, what are Liverpool gaining? If they're 11th, I can't see Liverpool really improving beyond 8th.
Yeah,
at the moment, unless something happens and they click and all.
I think they're done.
They're not going to win league. No, you've heard that here first, and you know what? I said this, and I stand by it. As soon as I got Isaac, the first thing I said was, "There's too many chefs in the kitchen. You got too many people that are talented, angry, and wanting to do whatever they need to for the big paycheck they're getting, that they were never going to win this year.
They're going to win the league next year by a record margin.
I think
We're going to shit
I think well, okay. I'm going to take that on. If that happens, I will dye my hair blue.
That's going to be red. Liverpool.
Live for it. Yeah, sweet. And
Can't
who's
see
going
it
to do
happening.
first? I will do that, but
Cannot see it happening.
they're not. They're so far off, and yes, they're won it, so they're getting a lot of slack, and that's what I find so ridiculous. If this was any other side in the league, any other side, there would be weeks and weeks of media coverage. Liverpool have somehow slipped through because of where their little city is in the middle of nowhere on the bloody dogs. Yeah, anyway, don't start me.
They've won 1 out of their last 6 in the Premier League.
And as Gray's Catering, their great sponsor, would tell you, they're just struggling for a bit of care, I think, at the moment.
Who's going to knock Arsenal off? Is someone, or
they're going to come second? I don't know who's going to win it, but Arsenal are going to be second.
Palace at 5th. That pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, it does. And, again, as we fall asleep on this with a little bit of alcohol in our systems, we'd like to thank again our major sponsors, Gray's Catering, Arrow Landscape Gardening, and obviously the Castles of Castles, New Wave Hair in Tomorrow. And, moving on, I think keep following us. We love doing this and we'd love to hear your views and thoughts. We're going to watch it tomorrow over here. The United Palace game is going to be at...
Am I coming to your house to watch it?
Yeah, I think so, because poor old Hillary, Lachlan's daughter, is crying in the background at the moment.
Yeah, you
has
might have
not
heard
looked
that.
like moving.
I apologise.
No, that's all right. Need to get rid of it.
She's going to get up to work tomorrow.
Yeah, so we can afford to do this. But I think moving forward, we're going to keep trying to give you content, give you the fresh thoughts and ideas that mightn't make much sense of halfway across the world, but to us it makes sense, and we love it. We love it, and like one of the great mentors said, be cool, and if you can't be cool, be yourself. We love you all. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night, all. Oh, it's not going down.
Sounds like